In this tutorial, we're going to look at how to use smart objects and transforming to assemble separate pieces and graphics into a single sign that we can then turn it into a smart object and apply it to a billboard. And in this billboard smart object, we can go in and edit it at any time to change any attribute of any of the pieces that are in here. So let's get started. If you don't already have it open, open up the picture of the blue sky background. That's what we'll be building on, and the old car. Previously, we've selected and copied. I want to show you a new way to move files to another canvas. If you have just one, you can click and drag it up to the tab of the other document and then drop it on the window. So let's situate the car about in the middle, and then let's make some text. And I have a font that's called Headline A. You can use whatever font you'd like, but I would recommend a thick one. And I'm going to type Goldie and set my type color to kind of a goldy yellow. Now, this bit of font, we want to curve over the car. So whenever we have fonts that we're transforming, the best way to do it is as a smart object. You always want to make the type bigger than you intend the final piece to be when you do this. It'll help you have a better quality graphic. So resize your type, Command T, and then right click on the layer and say Convert to Smart Object. Now that it's converted to Smart Object, we can transform, Command T, and move this to where we want it to be. So I want it to take up about that wide of a space on my canvas here, and then I need to use the warp to bend those letters down. So right click and choose warp, and then grab the different controls here and pull the text down, at least on that one corner. You're welcome to mess around with it a little bit more if you would like. I'm just going to pull mine down that far and then hit enter to finalize. And then the word oldie, same thing, type it in, make it larger than you want the final to be, and then turn it into a smart object. Once it's a smart object, do the same sort of thing. We're going to position it, and I've set mine up so that the tops of these two are really close to a line, but let's make sure. Choose both of these layers in your layers panel, grab your move tool, and then up here at the top you can see the align options, and we want both of these objects to align along the top. So I look for the little picture that has two objects with a flat line on top. And there it goes. You saw Goldie move just a little bit, so those are now lined up along the top. So grab your oldie layer again, transform, Command T, and choose warp when you right click, and pull that text down. Now we want it to look like a smooth line coming from one side to the other. So we want to line these bottom bits up together, and then I'm actually going to pull this graphic down some because I want it to be sitting behind that car just a little bit. Once you've got your text made, move the car layer up to the top. Let's name it car. To finish off the text, I would add a couple of effects. So I'm going to add a stroke by double-clicking on the thumbnail to edit this smart object and putting a white stroke on that type. So double-click on the layer and then choose stroke, set the position of the stroke to inside, the color to white, and maybe increase it up to 6 or 7 pixels, and then click OK. Once you've made the changes you want to the type, push Command S to save, Command W to close, and it will have changed your type out here in the big document. So do the same thing to Goldie. Double click on the thumbnail, double click on the layer, add a stroke. Want to set the same thickness as that last one, so 6 pixels. Click OK, save, close, and there we go. Now let's also add a drop shadow to these, just because it will help them stand out a little bit more from the background. I'm not even going to adjust the drop shadow, I'm just clicking the basic drop shadow. And there it goes, we're already starting to get kind of that old vintagey look with this arrangement of type.